Hitboy is one of the most consistent producers in the game, with almost every artist wanting to work with him. But what can we, the producers of today, learn from his beats? One of Hitboy's most recent productions was Bus Stop on Don Toliver's album, with the song featuring this 90s R&B sample. The main instrument is a Rhodes playing a simple 2-chord progression. Notice how I cut the lower octave chords out early and brought in the high notes. This contrast can help to make your chord progressions more interesting. Underneath that, we have a bass guitar. To give the bass a vintage feel, I added a guitar rig with a spring reverb and an amp. Next, we have a couple of percussive elements. First is a drum loop I made with this contact bank. Alongside the drums, I added this seaside texture which I noticed in the original sample. In parts of I Can't Get that weren't sampled on Bus Stop, there were some other instruments too, one of them being some strings. So for some more texture, I did this string one shot. His sample selection was so good on Bus Stop that Don simply copied the sample's vocals and used that for the hook. On this sample, I found a catchy vocal hook and kept it at the forefront like on a real song.
I saw you right in the
Now if you want to be able to make chord progressions just like this with ease and learn music theory, then I've got something that you need to check out. Skillshare are offering a free 30-day trial to the first 1,000 people to sign up with the link in the description, so you can improve any area of your production for free for an entire month. You got nothing to lose, so make sure you take advantage of this while you can. I've been taking the Ultimate Gospel Piano course by Kingsley B and Kruma, and that's massively helped me with my piano skills. Skillshare is great for learning new musical skills, but there are also hundreds of career-focused classes too, and the new year is the perfect time to learn something new and reinvent yourself. We all want to make money as producers, and Skillshare has classes such as diversify your income, earn passive income on selling products online. Don't forget, no goal is too small. If you want to become an expert at music theory, even learning one chord progression is progress, and the teachers on Skillshare can help you get there one step at a time. Let's get back into the video. I want to show you guys this secret plugin that I've been using on my master channel. It's called Elastic Pitch, and for all intents and purposes, it's a pitch shifter with one special feature. Moving this slider on the bottom will change the timbre of your sample. To the left, it'll filter it out and make it sound more underwater, whereas to the right, it'll add some grit and high end, which I love on vintage samples like this.
I saw you right in the alleyway. To the wall down your face. Don't you let him treat you like that, 'cause you're a queen. Yeah, you're a...
Now I'm going to show you how Hitboy flipped the sample. First, we have the classic Jersey kick and 2-step hi-hat pattern. He also added in some jumpy perks to further the bounce. To finish it all off, Hitboy added a bass. Another one of Hitboy's frequent collaborators is rap legend Nas. Take a listen to this track, for example. To get that anthemic sound, I wanted to use some orchestral instruments, so I started with this string melody. I put that in mono to make room for the big wide brass sound that I added underneath. I took the inspiration for the next element from the sequel to EPMD, EPMD 2. Respectfully. One element stood out to me, the eerie vocals. To finish off the sample, I took inspiration from one of Hitboy's earlier productions, Backseat Freestyle.
I ended up finding this crazy, dirty sounding bell.
So for this sample, I added a similar bell perk loop alongside 2 other perk loops that ended up making it feel like a marching band almost. Next, I flipped the sample by putting it in Fruity Slicer and finding a chop that I liked. Then there's a 2-step hi-hat which is pushed down in the mix to leave room for the second hi-hat and an open hat. To finish it off, I wanted to bring in a boom bap style element, so I found this drum loop, put it on top, and gives it so much texture and bounce. Finally, we can't forget about the track production that Hitboy has done for the likes of Big Sean, Travis Scott, and Juice WRLD. Take a listen to this song from Death Race for Love. Firstly, he chose traditionally soft sounds like bells and detuned them, giving a much more harsh and aggressive sound, something like this. The chords also play a big part in the dark melodic sound. We use the F sharp harmonic minor scale, allowing us to bring the E up to an F for the second chord. This makes it darker because the top notes of these chords are only a semitone apart. After that, I laid it with a pad, which I reversed. To finish off this melody, I took inspiration from Big Sean and Nipsey Hussle's Deep Reverence. The track starts out with a reverse bell melody, so to replicate this, I clicked in the melody, added a halftime and a shaper box to reverse it, followed by a cassette, reverb and a delay. Like the two previously mentioned songs, Lithuania by Travis Scott and Big Sean contains a dark bass that fills the low end.
I know we met today, but I'ma need that shit today.
So I added this to our beat. Next, we have the drums. Now the bounce really comes from the hi-hats. First, Hitboy likes to shift them quite heavily off-grid, like you can see here. He also utilizes rolls to achieve the sound he wants. The best place to add a roll is just before another drum sound hits. The rolls I added in this beat lead into the snare. Finally, we have the 808 and kick.